Your legs were kind of like mine. They were hairy.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. We all know that tying a knot with someone isn't as easy as a commitment to love someone with all your heart. Well, today we will talk about some of the specific scenes of Big Ed that have grabbed the attention of the viewers, mainly because of being cringy. So, here are 10 most embarrassing Big Ed moments that have come across in 90 Day Fiance. Let's have a look. Number 10. Ed 1 year older than his girlfriend's father. When Big Ed started dating Rosemary online, Ed compared himself to her father as he told her about the age and other stuff. He, being weird and cringy, didn't use sugar-coated words, but told her directly that his age is similar to his father. She must have felt gross about it, or maybe she found it as a little shock, but she responded that he is 1 year older than her father. I guess Big Ed had tried taking the call me daddy part too far. What do you think? Well, for Rose, this wasn't an issue, and Ed must be happy after knowing that.
I'm gonna be there in a week. I'm flying 6,000 miles.
Number 9. He lied about his height. It is a fact that shorter people feel insecure about their height, because no one likes to be short, but we can't do anything if someone has one because there are no options. Maybe lying about your height might be used as an option, because people you connect on social platforms can't see you and measure your height. But your bluffs can be doomed, because if you overstated your height, they could not hide for long. He told his girlfriend that his height is 5 and something too long, but in reality, he's just 4'11". When they both met each other at the airport, his girlfriend noticed his height, as he was shorter than her. Well, my question to Ed is that why did you lie, Ed, especially when one day she was going to find out?
Tall to me.
Tall, more tall.
Short to me.
Number 8. Ed worked at Rose's father's pig farm. If you've seen the episode where he worked at Rose's father's pig farm, then you know how hard Rose and her father laughed to see him working, as he was miserable at his job. Basically, he wasn't hired for the job, but he just wanted to be efficient by helping his future father-in-law to score his numbers. But since Ed was wearing Nike shoes, he decided to cover his shoes with plastic bags. But this technique of his made him the topic of laughter as he slipped in the food of pigs and their midst. Maybe all those scenes where he slipped into pig farm might sound funny to many people, but most folks found those scenes gross.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Number 7. At market, Ed had an argument with Rose. When you have insecurities, you start asking people around you why they're even with you. What you have is in something special that made them stay with you. That's exactly what was happening with Ed. Big Ed was very much concerned about his looks, as he knew that he's older than Rose and she's younger and prettier than him. He kept on asking her what made her date him. He had a thought that Rose is with him for his money. They even fought at the marketplace when Ed started questioning her intentions and said that she is scamming him for money. In short, calling her a gold digger. I guess Ed should know that this is the last thing you could say to your girlfriend when you need to leave her. But if you want to stay with someone and want to take your relationship to the next level, you should keep such silly things off the table.
Keep the change.
No,
Yeah.
no, keep the change.
It's a 10 pesos.
Number 6. Ed started acting weird about Rose's breath. Nobody wants to have bad breath. But if someone like your life partner has bad breath, it's definitely a big turnoff. But it doesn't mean that you start pointing this out to your partner's face. It's better to give them a hint, rather than making them feel unwanted. What can be expected from Ed, though? He went to Rose and said to her face that you have bad breath. Even in addition to it, he gave her an oral hygiene packet that includes a mouthwash, a brush, and toothpaste. When he told her that he had something to give her, she thought that he was giving something nice to his girl. But what he got for her made her feel so embarrassed. Then Rose told him with a disgusted face, as it was clear from her facial expression that she didn't like this act of Ed, that she has an ulcer, and that's why her breath isn't so good.
Just your breath is not, pretty.
Number 5. Ed, a sugar daddy. We can clearly see that when he compared himself with his girlfriend's father, and some scenes can easily point out the fact that he is one. Even he claimed that he bought gifts for Rose that were worth $5,000. Such things make him look like a sugar daddy. The way he was showing off about the gifts was depicting that he considered Rose a gold digger and she's with him for his money. But when they broke up, Rose stood against him for her defense and said that he barely gifted her anything in real life except the lingerie. Now you know that Ed didn't give Rose lingerie to make her happy, but to please himself. Number 4. Mayonnaise on hair. A short video of 1 minute captured by TLC showed Ed pampering himself to meet Rose as he wanted to look good. He even said that he wanted to ask Rose to marry him as he had bought a ring. 2.5 million people saw this video in which Ed did a very strange and weird thing. He put more than 1 scoop of mayonnaise on his head. According to him, this is his hair scalp treatment. So, he put the mayonnaise on his head and started massaging. He explained that she is 31 years younger than him. Therefore, he's very conscious about his physical appearance, and he added that he started dyeing his hair to look younger for her.
Appearance? Because Rose is 31 years younger than me.
Number 3. Ed asked Rose to shave her legs. If I have to be honest, their relationship sounded weird to me from the very start. Ed always put himself first before Rose, as on the very first morning after they spent a night together, he told her that she's so pretty the very next moment she wakes up. I thought at first that he finally did something good, but then he started asking Rose to shave her legs because women with hairy legs aren't that much attracted to him. Then they both made a deal about who's going to shave which part of their body. For Ed, the hairy legs of Rose are quite masculine, and he added that a feminine figure should not have hairy legs or any hair on her body. On the other hand, Rose replied that she doesn't like his facial hair, so he should have to shave his face if he wants her to shave her legs. What a baseless relationship is this? I mean, if you love someone, you start loving their flaws too, if they've got some. Otherwise, whom you love, you don't find anything to change about them. But Ed being Ed, he always wants something for himself, even though he claims he does everything for Rose Marie. It's always for him. Don't you remember the lingerie part? A packet of mouth hygiene, and now he asked her to shave her legs by using sugar-coated words?
Your legs were kind of like mine. They were hairy.
Number 2. Ed took a shower with Rose's father. We can't expect anything but more drama from Big Ed when the stuff is specially related to Rose's father. Rose told Ed that it is normal for her family to take a bath together, so in one scene when Ed went to Philippines to meet Rose, Ed took a bath with her father, with so much drama. Both of them bathing together from drums of water, and Rose was helping Ed as all this was new to him. She poured water onto Ed from a nearby water drum, and the splashes of Rose's father's bathwater were splashing on each other's bodies. This scene seems surreal to me, and surreal in a bad way, because being a star of the episode, Ed looked weird and dumb. It sounded weird to me, because as soon as he moved into Rose's father's room, he offered to take a bath together, and I don't know what made him helpless that he took the offer without giving it a single thought. If you haven't watched the episode, I'd like to say that don't watch it, because it's not your typical taking shower together fantasy. Number 1. Asking Rose to take an STD test. Well, nowadays, it's become a very normal thing to ask your partners to take an STD test just to make sure your last relationship didn't get you a disease. But if you singled out your partner and refused to take an STD test yourself, then you're nothing less than an idiot. And that's what Ed did to Rose. He asked her to get an STD test and refused to take one himself. Like someone with no dignity would do that to his partner by not doing what you expect from your partner to do. In fact, the real reason to feel disgusted by him is that he asked her this awful favor on the very first date they both went out. He asked this before having dessert, and her expression could tell you how embarrassed she was feeling at that moment. I feel sad for her. Like, he refused to take a test because he's in the Philippines, and he'll take one after getting back to the States, but she has to do that no matter what. What a hypocrite you are, Ed.
Yeah, you test me?
A test for, I don't know if you understand, it's STD.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss videos like this.